You know, I think the best part was doing the Grand Canyon with my family. That was that was really cool. Little man didn't like flying so much. We'll put it that way, but it was lots of fun, man.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Do you want to visit Niagara Falls from the US side?
Oh yeah, I go down. I've been to Niagara so many times, man.
I know, I know. I was just kidding because I don't know, but to me, there was always they were kidding me because I was in Canada for one piece of my life, and then on the U.S. for another part of my life, and they tell me like, "Hey, are you gonna visit Niagara Falls now from the U.S. part, or is it just from the Canadian area?" So that was just kind of like hey, that joke that I wanted to replicate did not play it up. But other than that, doing great, man. Have you been on a trades today? I don't know. I didn't see if you went live
Oh yeah,
today
three
in the
trades
morning.
already.
Oh wow,
Three trades, three profits, all perfect. 3 for 3 today. I mean, I come back and I had to. I'm gonna get the money back from last week too. Like I'm like, you better watch out, market maker. I'm coming for your money.
oh
Short right
absolutely
now off VWAP. It's too easy, bro. Too easy, man.
nice.
It's
I'm
almost like
actually
I feel fresh. The market
yes.
is just um, when you're staring at it all day, every day, you get the tunnel vision a bit. I feel like you know, I come back. I feel like a superstar now, able
Oh
to be
nice.
a bit more patient, but I don't want to get too cocky. That's never. You never want to think you're untouchable because the market will humble you really fast. We know that. So overall, really good trading day. Took two trades on the live, and then uh, I added to another position. Two trades on the live, and then I short right now on VWAP. Take profit one, already hit stop loss to entry. So we can go over those trades. Show you guys here what happened. Good to see everybody back here, kicking ass, taking names. Hopefully, OC gave you guys lots of trades. Uh, yeah. So the first trade. So market opens. We had news this morning down here. Okay, so at 10 a.m. We had the beautiful stiletto pattern here. I did not take this trade here. Bull div, just for me, I wanted here. This was my target. What is this target? This is the previous daily close. Okay, previous daily close. So we were looking for this all all morning, and guess what? We had to wait. I did take a long here this morning into the high, TP1 stop loss to entry, stopped out, made 20 bucks. Okay, very small trade. That was my first trade of the morning. So, whoop-de-doo, right? Got my feet wet. Then we sweep down here. We get a doji. I'm like, man, I want to long this so bad. I was like, I want to long this. I waited for the news to come out. The news came out. Boop, 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 boop. We pushed up. I got long in here. Okay. TP1 on the wick test right in here. And then TP2 was VWAP. Okay. Here we go. TP2 was VWAP. Look at that, baby. Right to the tits, as I like to say. Okay. Then I got short. So this was one trade, two trade. As soon as we closed below here, it got short. Take profit one right here. Okay. Stop loss to entry, and we are still short as we speak. I mean, I'm short 24/7, but trade wise. So right here, as soon as we lost that low, VWAP slap, continuation down. See if we can come down to sweep these lows in here. That would be ideal. Doesn't have to happen, but that would be ideal. Okay. So up, down, all around, taking this thing to funky town, man. Kicking ass, taking names. Patience. Uh, your orb trade this morning, very easy. There's nothing more bullish than a fake out below the orb, right? So you get the fake out below the orb, you reclaim the orb, You get long here, stop loss goes below the low here, and you look for continuation up to key targets, which was the VWAP, okay? Very easy trade. VWAP slaps the VWAP, closes back within the range. You take the short, and you come all the way down to the bottom of the range. TP1, continuation down. So easy peasy for me. A lot of patience, though. A lot of patience. I mean, I waited all through this, got long here, stopped out, break even, long here, nice profitable trade, short here, nice profitable trade. Okay, so that's my trading day so far today. Up just over 600, 650. Yeah, so a nice day for me so far, especially coming back, starting fresh. A very good start to the day. If we want to go over some top-down stuff, we can. And that's the key, though. Like, why were we looking here, right? Like, in Chart Prime has it for you guys here, where you can turn on your pivots. Okay. Use your previous day pivots or your history pivots in here, your previous pivots in blue, and you can turn those on. For me, I have a very simple one. It's not special at all. It's just a CM. What is it? Anyways, it's on my scalping one here. It's this one here. CMHLOC, open, high, low, close. That's all it is. That's all. It's just pivots. It's the same thing. You have it on Chart Prime too. You can see we had that previous day close pivot down in here, right? So that was the one here that I was looking to get tapped. Okay, we tapped it and then we pushed it. OC can show you possibly how to set up your pivots on. I just use this one because I'm intraday scalping. This one's really quick for me. But OC pivots are such a good tool, man. I mean, especially knowing like your weekly pivot, your quarterly close and stuff like that, it can give you very key levels that you can be looking to sweep and bounce from and range bound and I know a lot of different traders who do trade pivots. So something you definitely want to look for good targets, like very good targets going into your weekly close, your monthly close, your quarterlies and all that. They're very, very good. Your naked point of controls, all that kind of stuff. So what did we warn them about, OC? We warned them if we swept the high, we could be looking to come down. How many times did we say it? We said it here. We said it here. We said if we sweep,
yeah,
be prepared for a dump. Multiple times, right? So is that the same as previous day high and previous day low? Yeah, previous day low or your previous day. Yeah, your previous day low. And then you'll have your open and your close, right? Open, high, low, close, right? You look up top here, whatever candle you're on, open, high, low, close. And that's how it'll always, whatever candle you're on. So if you're wondering like what the price of this candle is here at the high, you know the high of this candle is 109,951, right? All right, you go over here, you hover over that candle, and that'll give you that information of that candle at the top there if you're wondering what that is. Open, high, low, close. And that's always, depending on what candle you're looking at, you just hover over that candle, and you know that high is 951. You go over this one, you know that this high is 111,968. If you want to be accurate with your, if you want to know what this low is down here, you just hover over the candle. The low is 89,100, right? And that'll tell you right up in here. You just got to hover over it. Okay? Very easy way of telling on your charts. If you want to be like exact with key levels and stuff like that. And obviously you guys all know your candles, right? You have your candle, right? Depending on which way the candle came from. So if it's a bullish candle, you'd have a close like this, right? If it's a bullish candle and your wicks here, and your wicks here, right? So this is your open right here of your candle right here. This is your close because this is pushing in. It's opening here. It probably went up or down, right? Within that time frame. Maybe it came and then it came down. That's your low. Then it pushed up, came back down, closed here. So your next candle would be here, right? Maybe this one comes down, right? So this would be your high right here. Okay. Let's say this one has a wick up here, right? This would be your open. So you open here, you push up, you open here, right? You close here, you open here, you close here. So your next candle would start here, whether it goes up or down. Okay, so you should all know that as well, depending on the way price goes. Okay, this would be your high, this would be your low, this would be your open, this would be your close. Okay, open, close. Okay, very simple, but you need to know these things, okay? Because then you can know that, look, we're in an uptrend, so we come down, open, push up, come down, close, push over, open, come down, push up, close, push over, okay? Now in the opposite direction, push up, open, push down, close, open, push up, down, open, close, right? Very important to know. And that's really helps you with structure, knowing where, if you're engulfing or if you're closing, right? Where you're opening and where you're pushing up from, right? You guys know me. I love a doji engulfing candle right here. So doji, right? Bullish engulfing, bang, right? Nice trade there. So very important to know these things. Going over to here. So sweep of the highs, right? Very, I would call this a shitty top in my opinion. Okay. Very very crappy, very ugly. The one trade is right here. Like you got a double top right here. If you were going to short this, besides that, it was really ugly. You can see in here, you got your double top SFP. So you had a nice swing failure pattern here, right? You had a bull div push up, SFP, breakdown. You short this thing right here, right? And that would be your short trade. This is pretty crappy, stalling out, rugging everyone. Bart Simpson in here. So right now, what do we have? We have downtrending momentum that has broken, which makes us have a bear flag now because we have swept this low. Okay, this is our first significant market structure break since this uptrend. Okay, if we look here and we turn on market structure, we can see our daily structure is green, right? But if we go into maybe even a 12-hour now, 12-hour change in structure, not yet. To me, this is a break of structure on the 12-hour, but you know, you can see on the 4-hour changing character in here, right? So we have broken structure. 4 hours been bullish this whole time. Okay, it's our first corrective structure. So what are we looking for in here? We're looking for ABC, right? We're looking for our beautiful A. Where's our B gonna land and where's our C gonna land, right? I would like to see a retest back into here. And then C is always the hard part. Okay, where do we correct to if we're going to have our ABC? Understanding that C can be a higher low or a lower low or an SFP, right? So you could get long here, you could get long here, or you could get long here. This is the hard part of trading, is identifying bottoming structure sufficient enough to break structure to the upside to continue that long. So it's the hard part. This is the hard part, ABC here. Okay, and we don't have very good examples of what an ABC looks like because we never got one throughout here. We do have examples in here that we can look here. So here's your ABC here, right? ABC, right? So this is an SFP one, right? So you got an SFP, right? And a continuation trade. You get long here, glory days, okay? There's many different, but it's the C leg that can either be a higher low, a sweep of the low, or a lower low continuation trade. What you're looking for in general, A, B, C, right? You're looking for this high to be mitigated. Doesn't matter really where the C is, whether it's here, whether it's here, or whether it's here. You want to see this break of structure changing character. Then you can have the confidence for this thing to put in a higher low. And you can take the long trade, depending on where this one bounces from. Okay? So it's good because it allows you to be patient. Okay? Right? Knowing that you get an ABC in here on our way up, right? And that you don't have to take this trade until you have a clear changing character here. And you can take that big Valhalla trade, baby, right? And you don't have to have, you can manage your risk differently, but that's the money one. That's the money, baby, right? Even in here, you have a bit of an ABC. Break a structure continuation trade, right? So for me, it's about being patient, right? ABC right here, higher low, continuation trade, right? It's everywhere. You can find it everywhere. ABC, continuation trade. Okay, ABC, continuation trade. ABC, continuation trade. It's everywhere. It's just you want to be able to identify when C has printed and when C has changed structure. Then you can take the trade. I mean, as a scalper, I don't typically take these a lot of the time, but I'm aware of them that I can jump on trend, in all of these areas, right? Where it gives you, even in here, you get a very big C wave ABC, and then you reclaim bull flag continuation, right? But very useful because when you can identify those, when we're in a macro uptrend, you can make a lot of money. Okay, that's what we want. We want to make a lot of money. So the concern right now with Bitcoin is that we have been up only, and we are looking for ABC, right? We want to see 90,000 hold. Okay. The lower part of this range, this in my opinion, we need it to hold. Do I think we're coming down here? One thing at a time, guys. One thing at a time. However, I'd prefer to see this, I tell you the truth, and then go. But we don't know what's going to happen, right? It's if this and that. I'm still bullish. I just hate the look of this high. It's can wreck a lot of people, right? If you look at here, you go on like a weekly, it's a bearish divergence. Like as easy as it could be, right? We said this back here. We said if we come up here and we put in a higher high, we will definitely get a bear div and it could be fucking brutal. Okay? Right? We could get summer lull into fucking November, December, and then we go. And this would be absolutely decimating of altcoins. Okay, your altcoins would look like complete shit. And that's a nice way of putting it. So be prepared. Now I'm going to tell you I did buy the dip for the first time. I bought 30 grand worth of tokens down here. Okay, I bought the ones that I normally buy: TIA, Render, Injective, spread evenly. Now, remember when I talk about DCA, I'm 30, 40, 30. That's how I allocate. So I have put in 30 right now. I haven't put out the whole shaboozle. I got dry powder, baby. We're looking to spread it around. So, right, if we get a break of structure in here, I will look for some bottoming structure and I will deploy the 40. And if we get a higher low, I will deploy the rest of the 30. Or if we get a lower low, I will deploy the 30. Because I think we are still due for a bull run. But I've started to slowly, very slowly, average in. Okay? And for me, I'm going to go over to an altcoin that I do hold, like TIA. I mean, I don't mind buying the lows, baby. Because right now I have bought the low on TIA. The low. Like I'm talking the low of all of TIA. Right? If we look at TIA in the history here, I have bought the low. Okay. And my average isn't bad. My average is over here. Like I bought back in here. So my average is somewhere in here. Right. So I'm not down that much. It's the only one I'm actually down on is TIA. But I mean, I bought the low of the lows, right? So even right now, if I go in and I zoom in on this, I'm already, as ugly as it is, I'm already up 7% on my DCA, right? But TIA, I think it's got to go, man. And I mean, it's an easy, like 10x, easy. Why isn't my mouse isn't working? Easy, all-time high. So you do you. I'm just letting you know what I do. And for me, I'm only looking for a 5x on my portfolio. So I'll be taking profits pretty quickly. Like if we come back up into this range here, I'll probably take half off, right? I took 30 grand off of SUI right here. Okay. My average buy right here. Okay. I took 30 grand here profits. I've added another, I think 7 grand down here. So that's how I do it anyways. Just so you guys are aware. Going back to Bitcoin. So yeah, what are we looking for the rest of the day? Well, for me, Monday, hopefully, let the dust settle. Okay. Holding this range is going to be ideal. For me, I'm looking for a impulse golden pocket from here to hold as well. Key levels coming through. Was it this one or was it the next one? No, it was the bottom of this one. Retest the previous highs in there as well. Okay, so I'm looking down in here. If we get there, retest a previous high. Okay, any of these boxes above, these are sell walls, right? So looking for price to come into this area if we push. I'd be selling that all day. Okay, because of the structure change, because we have broken this structure, looking for this thing to roll over. Okay, A, B, C, continuation, right? Now, I don't mind being wrong, getting short in here, but I would wait for some sort of structure change to get short, right? If we push up. I would prefer SFP go. That would be long territory. So just really treating it as a range for now. If we can see volume in here, we have a massive amount of volume that we're putting in, which is good because if we want price to continue upwards, we want a big old level of support up here. Okay, we want to see a big old chunk like we're getting right now, a big old chunk in here, so that if we continue to push to Valhalla, if we ever come back down, we bounce. So this is healthy, right? Just like in here, we put in a big chunk. So if we do fall down, we would look to bounce. So we have some support underneath us, right? When you just go up only, you don't have much level of support and resistance, right? So we want to have those tiers that we can fall down and find support in order for continuation to the upside. So what are we doing? We're putting in some big ass volume right now, and that's good. If we get acceptance below in here and trade down to the point of control, well, then we're, guess what? We're range bound again. Trade the hot dog, right? Trade the hot dog. Buy low, sell high. So patience for now. I'm pretty sure I'm done trading for the day. I mean, I say that and then I go and trade. So I got to be aware of that. Trying to be better, man. Trying to be better. I have trouble turning it off, man. I just want to keep going, right? And then sometimes it can be yeah, like this is shit right now. You don't want to trade this, man. I mean, you could scalp it, but volume's decreasing. I think Jerome Powell's speaking at 1 o'clock. So be prepared, man. There,
Yeah.
OC. I've given you all I've got. I'm back, baby.
Awesome. So let me take over here because I want to be the bearer, not just not want to be the bearer, but I want to keep track on what we left out. Something important that might be playing out at this point, and we need to be prepared of it, right? So let me just zoom out on the same 4 hours, and let me start sharing my screen really quickly. Where's my stuff? I just opened so many things. There we go. And let me know when you guys can see it. All right, so this is where we left out previously. Hey, thanks for the confirmation of my trading strategy in class last week for the reminder of the trading day. Calling the open. Oh, thank you. Anytime, my friend. Start scalping samurai anytime. That's what we're here for. Something important is that we had this movement, right? So we know we are bullish on that movement, right? Why? Because we have a trend line. So let me remind you, when is the trend broken? When your trend line it's broken, right? So what's going on right now? And let me just get rid of this for a second. And let's remember that I was pointing upwards, all right? But look at what happened right here. This is a breakout of the trend. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, right? So what other trend line do we have? We have this secondary trend line. So far, this is what we got, and this is what we've been expecting. Also, remember that based on this movement, we calculated a box, right? Not this box in particular. This was just calling out a candle, a daily candle. But let me just zoom out. And while zooming out, let's remember how do I calculate now my retracements, right? One of the most important retracement I usually do, it is half retracement. I'm going to be measuring from breakout retest because that is when the trend is over and the new trend it has confirmed, right? All the way to the top, somewhere around here. So if we take a look at where is our half of the range, this is it. So that's what I was calling at 97,998 for the worst case scenario for our dump, continuing and also creating a new trend line somewhere around this point. So I believe that if we're gonna go down, as we make it to the upside, look at that, up, range, up, range, up. All right. And if we look at the other way around, let me show it to you, and let's go to the previous down range. And I don't know why do I have that many things in here, but whatever. No, come on. Here it is. Sorry about that. Here is what I wanted to show you. All right, perfect. Down, range, down, bigger range, down, range, down, range. All right. So as you can see, we follow the same pattern. Why? Because this is a well-known part or piece of a market structure. This is a flat pause of bearish, in this case, continuation. Right. The other one is a flat pause of bullish continuation. All right. So now that we understand what's going on and what could be happening here, well then I believe that if we're going downwards, we need to make that flat pause. And then the bearish continuation. Basically creating not this very steep trend line, but maybe this other one that is not as like aggressive, less aggressive, right? Maybe somewhere in between this one and this one, which could be a very well guess somewhere around here, right? We still don't know. Important areas to look for, it is the 50% retracement and the 1/3 retracement. How do I measure that 1/3? Well, we already have done it. We did it last class, right? So let's go for this one here. Let's duplicate it. Let's clone it. And then we'll see, does that fit? Well, not quite. So maybe we can make it bigger, right? And that will actually, I believe that will actually kind of fit within the gaps. There we go. And then clone. And that's it. Look at that. Almost a perfect measurement. Where is our line? Somewhere around that zone. In fact, let's make it a ray. So let's make it right somewhere around here. And that is what I'm looking for our retracement. Remember that the markets are perfectly imperfect. Last time, I don't know where did I measure this. Maybe I measured it from a little bit above or something like that. But this was the line that I was having, right? Basically at the top of this, or the center of this range, which is what we are right now, or where we were at that point. Look at that. We perfectly hit that center of that previous range. So this is the previous range that we were talking about. The center of that range is somewhere around here. And look at this. We hit it. It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest. And now off we go. We're having a goose head. All right. This goose head usually indicates a movement to the downside before a further move to the upside, right? So something like this, further move to the upside, and then the retracement that we could be expecting. All right. Let me redraw it once again. So something like this, and then further move to the downside, which will actually be not only creating a bear flag, but also will be creating the flat pause of bearish continuation, right? So the only thing that we need to understand is that we are right now technically below dynamic reactor. We're not that bullish, but also remember what happened last time we broke a big trend line. For example, in this case, I mean, I think that we know we broke this trend line, right? So let's go for that trend line in here. That is a huge AF trend line. What happens? Of course, we went downwards. It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest. But then what happened? We created a stable low. And then what happened? We created a stable high. So that indicates that this most likely is going to be a range. All right. That has also happened in the past when we break a trend line. Look at how we broke the trend line, right? It's not about your breakout. It's about your retest and then higher low still, right? Same high. So then not a lower low, but actually we played out a 50% retracement. This is the 50% retracement. So this part, and now I remember what are those boxes were for there. So remember that at this point, it is not that we're doomed as we break the trend line, but it's a very significant area that is telling us, hey, we either range or we flop, right? So the first area for flopping, it is a 1/3, somewhere around, and we have it marked in here at 104, right? Which basically we're almost there. All right, let me just get rid of this. And then the next area of retracement, I would say 89, 87, all right, 87, sorry, 88, 87, 88, somewhere around this ballpark for the worst case scenario for the 50% retracement, as we also hit it right here on this range. So we could be into a big flat pause of bullish continuation, right? So it's not that everything is doomed. It's not that we're going to the bottom. But so far, we have lost the trend line. That is significant. And the next thing that we need to look for is going to be, I would say, the daily or even the weekly. What are we going to be looking for in those areas? We're going to be changing our oscillator. Let's bring up a new one. So let's click this gear icon. And then instead of the prime oscillator, let's go for the MVP oscillator. Let's click OK. And on the daily, what we're going to be looking for, it is bottoming and also bright candles. We are not there yet on the bottoming. What I don't like to kind of like a long on that zone, because at this point, yep, that was a good zone to DCA, but it did not actually retrace. Like in here, it did not actually did that big retracement. But right here, look at what a great opportunity that was, right? And right here, what a great opportunity that was, right? So, I mean, despite I have some DCA action here, I still want to wait for a little bit because I'm rolling over to the downside, right? I want to see the flip of the ribbon somewhere around here. So this ribbon also flips. Let's go for something. What am I expecting? Something like this. All right. When I start saying that belly drop down, right? And also, if you guys are keeping track on what we're doing on trading with OC, where we're going from zero to hero. Friday we looked at, and let's go to that chart. We looked at Bollinger Bands. Let me ask you a question, Alex. How do you like Bollinger Bands? Is this something on your radar? Is it something that you learn to trade? Or is it something like meh, that is just somewhere around there?
I think it's Bollinger Bands are great for scalping. I mean, it's something I check all the time. I do have a couple of Bollinger Band strategies that I do use quite a bit with Chart Prime. I have the Quantum Band set up where I keep it on the 1 minute and I trade on the 3 minute, and I use them all the time. And I mean, it's just whenever it looks over the edge, it wants to go back into the middle of the ground. That's how I always treat it. So
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know, absolutely.
And that's a great strategy. In fact, when we learned that, and by the way, this is all full free indicators, both for Chart Prime and just the ones that TradingView offered you, right? So that's something that is great about trading with OC, is that we try not to push you into buying anything. And if you already have the series, or if you already have Chart Prime, don't worry, you can add those free indicators to your arsenal, or even create a new setup. So just so you know, we were looking for that peak performance. We had that peak performance. Not only that, we were looking for areas of support. Beautiful entry. We actually caught the very bottom. Look at that. And that was a live trading. We gave it Friday night, and then went up to where? To the Bollinger Bands. But I know you're not here to learn about Bollinger Bands, all right? So let me show you what I actually want to show you. Let's go to weekly. This usually is only going to be working with, let me just get rid of this, with Bitcoin on Bitstamp, because that has the longest history, right? Something with the Bollinger Bands that I want to show you, it is that when we compress, right, on those clouds, we're compressing the possibilities for a disparity, right? So what usually that happens is that we're narrowing down our possibilities for going up or down, all right? So when we're going up, the Bollinger Band, the green Bollinger Band, distance itself from the actual price action. Look at how it distances itself from the price action as we go up, all right? Let me show you something interesting at this point. Before I keep going with my Bollinger Bands, I'm going to turn it off, right? I'm going to double click in here, and I want to show you once again what happened with the cycles. Can you see this cycle? Can you see this cycle? Can you see this cycle? So this cycle, look at, I mean, this cycle, many people got, I mean, very, very rich. And how is that so little? Why is that so little? Because of the volume that was in there. There was not much volume, right? What happening here? It's getting bigger. Why? Because there's more volume. Now it's getting bigger. Why? Because it's more volume. And now it's getting much bigger because there's more volume. If you want to ignore the volume in here, or the market cap, and actually see the percentage of growth, all right, you have a little L in here, which is the logarithmic. Let's add the logarithmic. Let me get rid of this. And if I double click in here, you'll see the actual growth in percentage of Bitcoin. And something that changes perspective, it is, look at how much we grew in here, and look at how little we grew in here, right? If I measure them, look at that they are very different. And that is because this is the percentage growth. The lower the market cap, the bigger the percentage at the beginning, if that makes sense. It's like, for example, if we create a new coin, that's going to be, I don't know, the other coin, right? So if we have the other coin and we all buy, how many of us are right now on the chat? So 1, 2, 3, well, I can read faster here. There's 23, all right? 23, let's round it up to 30. So there's 30 of us, and we'll all buy $1 of it, right? Whoever has $1 of it, well, then has a 1/3 a 33%. Imagine having 33% of Bitcoin at that time, right? Let's just say that now much more people come in and they want to buy and they want to buy and they want to buy. You got it for $1 and somebody's asking you, right? Well, sell me just half of it for twice as much, or give me half of it for $10. Yeah, absolutely. I give you half of it for $10 and I sold at 10 times greater my other coin, if that makes sense, right? That means that in the other coin, there's my buck and also there's the 10 other bucks that people just bought for me. That means that my buck right now doesn't actually make that much of a percentage of the asset, if that makes sense. This is coming important because of the way that we recalculate this, all right? So as we go on, the movements are gonna getting flat or flatter, but you can make much more money with lower or the same amount of percentage as long as you put or you compensate for capital, if that makes sense. All right, so here you just need a low capital, here you need a more capital, but the movements are greater in volume. There's much more volume happening. All right, perfect. Now that we know that, let's bring up our oscillator just so we are keeping track of what's going on. Last time we had a DCA signal was on the dip, on the belly, and here. Basically, our last DCA was on 7th of April. And I told you guys, this is looking like a great area of DCA. That's when we have our top of bottom, bring up. Remember, in fact, we entered right here on a breakout retest back inside the range, and I'm still holding a quarter of that position. All right. So, all right, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be minimizing this so you can see Bollinger Bands. I'm going to show you how Bollinger Bands is 20 EMA. That's fine. I haven't changed that. That is just as they come. But now when I turn it on, let me zoom out for a little bit. Let me go out in here. Look at that. Look at how things are dripping now. All right. Why are those things dripping? Because we're reducing, we're just incrementing the volume. We're getting out an important part, which is part of what an EMA measures. EMA measures closing price per candle. But if we unregulate or we take apart just the volume, we just get the percentage. The percentage which actually spikes. This is very interesting because look at where that spike bottom at its best part, of the most deepest part. Let me zoom in. They're not exactly, right? But they are, oh, come on. They are almost catching the very top before the retracement, right? On those, on the very, very top. Look at that. On what? On those cycles. So let me ask you a question now that we're seeing this. Does it look like we're dripping now? Not really, right? Are we at the top of the range? Also, not really. So there's two things I want you to consider. First, there is a trend line in here, which is doing this. It's actually a parabolic movement, which, as you can see, it's kind of can go two ways, either low, 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 and less low. All right. So, or making just a flat area. I'm just going to grab this trend line and pushing it half the way up until it touches the price action. This is going to be giving me an area of threshold. And then if I zoom in a little bit, I'm going to see another one, low, low, and low. I'm going to do the same, pushing it up until it touches the price action. And that's going to be giving me another threshold. When the Bollinger Bands, oh, come on. When the Bollinger Bands start doing this, guess what I'm going to be doing? Guess what I'm going to be doing? When the Bollinger Bands do this, guess what I'm going to be doing? Yeah, so I mean, I think this is fairly interesting. We still don't know if we're gonna play it out the same exact way, and this is because right now we have institutional money. All right, how does that change? Because now the blow off of or the percentage of growth is less important per the market cap, if that makes sense. Market cap, there is more money, which also caps or holds the percentage growth. So we grow in percentage slowly, but that's because we have much more market cap. All right. So that's why I'm grabbing these two kind of like a trend lines, just to start timing the possible top. All right. So that's all that I want to show you guys. I didn't want to go as bearish as just seeing that trend line, just kind of like telling you guys that we're going downwards. We could be ranging, we could be making a flat, a positive bullish continuation, but that also tells you that we could be going all the way down to 98. On my part, I already cashed out a little bit of that of my Bitcoin that I sold somewhere around here. All right. So what am I going to be doing now? I'm going to be reallocating it as we go low or as we have breakout retest and off we go. But so far, I believe that we're going slightly lower, at least to 102. That's what I think. Alex, to wrap this up and not to take too much of your time after the class, what do you think about this Bollinger Bands thing? Have you seen it before? If so, what do you think?
I can't. I think it's good. Like, thank you for showing me. I mean, I can't. It's too much waiting for me. You know me.
Yeah, of course. I know.
but no. I mean, like it's Bollinger Bands are like, you know, when you go bowling and you have the bumper rails on the sides, so the ball. Like, I suck at bowling, so I like when the cushions are there so it doesn't go. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very useful. Like on my scalp setup, if we look here, for me, it's like you got to find what fits your strategy, right? So for me right here, you can see I have my bands, 2-minute time frame or the 1-minute time frame, depending on how you're trading, right? Make it any pretty color you want. Maybe we'll make it green, make some money. So you can see here, I'm on the 3-minute time frame with the 2-minute Bollinger Band. Okay, this is why it's so good, because you can pick the time you want. So we should be looking for what's very important with Bollinger Bands is trend. Okay, so if we're in a downtrend, you typically want to be shorting. You don't want to be buying. So you can see how this is not a good trade anywhere in here. Okay. However, when you start to see bottoming structure like this, the trade I took this morning, right? When you peek your head over, you can take this trade, right? You came into VWAP here, dynamic reactor. It's all here, right? VWAP's right here. You go short here. Bollinger Bands there. Okay, so confluence is going to be key. Even in here, you've changed structure, so you've put in a higher high. You're looking for a retest and continuation trade here. Bollinger Band right there. Okay, so it's very useful. Sometimes I'll switch this to, if I want it a bit tighter, I'll switch this to the 1 minute, okay? And go from there. And you can see it tightens it up depending on the range that you are trading and what you're looking to get out of the market. It's very useful though. Okay, so you see here, now we're a bit tighter, a little bit more reactive, right? So anytime you do deviate like this or you push out, so you can see like there's channels too here. So you have this channel. This is a deviation out of that channel. You can see how if this channel was to continue, it would look like that. So when you deviate out of the channel too, this is a possible trade opportunity. Just like this one here, you have a downtrending channel basically, right? And you deviate out of that channel, you can look to take the long there. Very useful. You want to take it with trend. Look at this. I mean, that was a VWAP slap last night that I took as well, right? VWAP right here. Woof, that was a $300 trade. Easy. No looking. You know, I just pressed buy. It was so easy. But these are, We like easy trades. We don't want to fight for the money. Do you want to trade right here? Not really, man. I'll tell you. This is shit. This is the hot dog. This was the bun this morning. We took the trade from here. We took the trade from here. Now we're just chopping. Okay? If this, then that. If we reclaim VWAP, we can look for, the fair value gap in here and all that stuff, but I've made my money today. Just be patient, everybody. I think, Jerome Powell is going to have some excitement for us, I think, today. And I get my coffee, and I'll be watching. And that's it, man. Just trade safe, be safe. It's good to be back, OC. I'll send you some pictures.
Oh yeah, please.
And yeah, me and my wife, we went. I'll share one here with you guys. We went to the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I gotta speak American now. We went to the Grand Canyon out in America, and it was beautiful. Oh man, where are we? Me and Tradefly, FD White. Here's us at. Oh, couldn't paste it. Okay, I can screenshot it. You wanna mess around here? We got me.
Oh wow.
So this is that's me, FD White, Lunar Beaches Crypto.
Oh,
We got Tradefly, we got Buck, and we got Brewberry, who's part of my Discord. So all of us having pizza. That was pretty cool. What else do we got in here? Let me see if I can find you a goodie of the Grand Canyon, as you gotta say it. Looking here. There we go. There's me and my wife. Me and my wife took a helicopter through the Grand Canyon, and my son.
Oh wow.
You can see Mexico over here because it's so hot. You see my wife, she kneels. So I look tall because I'm short.
That's funny.
Wife. She's the best. Good time. It was a good time, man.
I'm glad you had a good chance to relax, my friend. I mean, although you say that it was not that relaxing, but to take
not, man. I need to fucking sleep again, man. I need a vacation from my vacation, you know?
Oh yeah, I know. I know that feeling. But at least, as you mentioned, you had the time to take your head out of the work and come and enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, guys. So I think this is it. Thank you so much for joining today's class. Welcome, Alex, to Chart Prime. We really miss you, my friend, and we're ready to rock and roll. We'll see how that goes because let's see. I am expecting a little more downtrend. Be careful out there. We also added some support. If we start breaking through and retesting, do not hold your shorts. Be quick to change your mind with new information, especially when we have numbers or tweets from you know who. All right. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.
Later.